Hey guys, it's Jim, and I got a question for you. Have your friends ever made you feel guilty about how much money you make? Have they ever looked down on you and made comments because of your success? This seems to be a very common problem with many people throughout all ages, but especially for those in their young 20s. It's a time where you start to figure out yourself in terms of what kind of direction you're going with your life, what kind of career you're going to have, which in turn leads to how much money you're going to make. It's also a time where people are entering the real world, whether they're getting out of high school, or they're going to college, or they're getting out of college, or they're going for a trade. And they're struggling to find a job, and they constantly compare themselves to others in terms of where the people are in their life at that moment. And it's honestly something we can't really control, right? It's just kind of natural. We compare ourselves to others because that's just what we do. You know, there's a lot of pressure on ourselves and there's a lot of thoughts running through our minds. One reason for this is because people look for a benchmark so then they could gauge their own success. Now, when you change that benchmark and then you become above where they are, they start questioning their ability and they feel as if they failed. Now, this sense of inadequacy can make them feel worse because there's a fear that with the choices that you make and getting even further above and further distance from them, that they may end up losing you. I must say though, I've definitely experienced some of these things throughout my personal life and my friend's life as well. Money is a very powerful tool. There's a lot of good that could come from it, but there's also a lot of bad that could come from it as well. And the crazy part about it all is it's not even real, right? It's a man-made concept. But what is real is the like button. The like button now is very, very real. So go ahead and make sure you smash the like button right now. Click it, tap it, whatever you want to do to it, make it turn blue, because it really helps out this video and helps out my channel. And I spend a lot of time making these videos, so I'd appreciate it. So I recently came across a story that kind of connected to me and stood out to me because I've dealt with these similar situations myself in the years past. And I know a lot of people deal with these same situations where their friends look at them and see how much money they make and they judge them and they make them feel kind of even guilty about it sometimes. So I thought this would be a good video to make to help those in that situation right now and kind of share my thoughts on what strategies I've used to help me get through those things. Now, this story is about a girl who's 26 years old making $105,000 every single year and is constantly being shamed by her friends for it. Now, I'm sure we could all agree, $105,000 at 26 is one heck of an accomplishment, right? I mean, that's a lot of money. But the part that a lot of people don't see and people on the outside looking in is that she struggled to get her year in computer science for 8 years. She was in college for, she grinded, and she earned that degree. Her biggest problem right now is with a few of her very close friends of 15 years. They will occasionally shame her about the money she makes and say things like,
"You make too much money," or "You make more than enough money to afford that."
And for obvious reasons, this is very upsetting to her because she wants to be able to be open with her friends and have honest conversations about navigating money as young adults. Like if she were to get a raise or promotion, she wants to be able to share that with her friends and have her friends be happy and go out and celebrate, not be rude and have her feel judged because of her success. And this leaves her in a really tough situation because she doesn't know how to approach the problem here. She doesn't know how to exactly approach her friend without offending her or, losing a friendship. This is something I could definitely relate to as I've gone through similar situations throughout my life and I've definitely learned from them and I've learned how to handle these situations. Now, when I was 17, I got my first job. It was a part-time job working at an office building and I would do every and anything inside and outside of the building, such as painting or putting away supplies or cleaning out old offices or putting together new furniture or whatever. Anything that needed to be done around the building was my job. It was a great job. It was part-time and I was able to make my own hours. I could come in any day of the week, even weekends too, and after hours. It didn't matter, I had my own key. It was only 4 minutes away from my house and the kicker is I was getting paid $15 an hour. Now mind you, at that time where I lived, the minimum wage was about $8 an hour. So I guess we could say this was a pretty cake job, right? As it was. Now being that was my first job, I was extremely excited about it and being a young teenager, the first thing I wanted to do was tell my friends all about it. And that's exactly what I did. I told them everything I just told you, and they agreed. It was a pretty sweet gig. But then as time went on and my friends started to get jobs too, they were making closer to minimum wage, and I was making almost double. I started to see some of these problems that this girl in the story was facing. It wasn't anything too crazy. It was just some comments here and there that made me feel judged and kind of made me insecure about the whole thing. Couldn't understand why I was getting treated like this. I thought everybody would be proud of me and proud of, what I accomplished, the job I got. But oddly enough, in the long run, it ends up having the exact opposite effect. And even though these people are your friends, sometimes when they say these comments, it kind of makes it feel like they're not, Like when they say stuff like you have more than enough money, you could afford this, or you're spoiled, or you make too much money, It's just kind of weird. Now, being at a young age, I really didn't understand how I could handle this situation. After all, I mean, I already told everybody about my job and how much money I was making, so there wasn't really much I could do about it. In fact, the only reason why I'm sharing this now is because it's so long ago and I'm so beyond that point, and my friends are beyond that point as well, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, after all, they were driven to say all these things purely out of jealousy, which looking back is completely understandable, especially with the stage that we were in being young, immature teenagers. But later on throughout life, and I got older and I started my home improvement contracting business, I yield to the advice given to me by my father, which was given to him by his father, and that was to never share the amount you make with anybody, especially your friends. So over the years, I did exactly just that, and I must say it made a tremendous different in the way that my friends were treating me, talking to me, and the way they just kind of perceived me as a person. I also learned the reason why people would say and think these kind of things is purely out of jealousy because they're not in the same position as you. And honestly, that's true with a lot of things in life. When people look down on you because of your success, it's because they're not there and they don't have it. And it's not to hate on them, okay? It really just kind of happens. I mean, it's almost like it's natural to do so. And you should never look down on those who look down on you because they look down on you, right? Seriously though, you should never look down on those because you never know what situation they're in. They could be struggling way harder than you are. So nowadays, I kind of just keep to myself. Whenever somebody asks me how much I make or how much I spent on something or how much this cost me, this and that, I just kind of say, don't worry, it doesn't matter. There really is no perfect answer to those questions if you don't want to share that information because you always feel like you're put on the spot and it just kind of makes you feel a little awkward. And if it's something that really bothers you, then don't hesitate to pull that person aside and be honest with them and have an open conversation with them, just telling them how you feel, okay? You don't have to make excuses for yourself being where you are in your life because you worked hard and you've earned the position that you're in. At the end of the day, if they're really your friend, then they're going to understand, and odds are they probably don't really know how they're impacting you by the things that they're saying. So once you tell them how you feel about it, it's really up to them to start keeping their comments to themselves. So if I were to give you guys some advice to take away from this video, it would first be to never share how much money you make. Simple. If you don't share that information, then nobody could ever judge you about how much money you make. Now, your friends aren't stupid, and looking in on the outside, it's easy to make estimates on, if you have a nice car, you're always wearing nice clothes, you got a nice new watch, you're always going out.
Wow, that person must be making a lot of money.
Which is fine. Let them think. It's better that way. I always found it's just better to keep them thinking and keep them wondering. That's what I've done, and it's worked out pretty well so far. I've just always never been super comfortable with sharing that information. The second thing I'd say, if your friends say stuff to you that really kind of bothers you and makes you feel weird and guilty about the whole thing, pull them aside and have a talk with them and let them know how you feel. Odds are they probably don't understand the impact of the comments or the questions they're saying. And the reality is you worked hard to be where you are. You've earned it. It's just crazy on how big of a role money plays in our lives. Like I said before, it's not even real. But everything we do in our daily lives all revolves around money. It's just the way it is. It's the reality we're living, and we just got to deal with it. Now, third, of course, it's always exciting to be able to share that news of your new job or a promotion or a raise you just got with your friends, and it's healthy to do so. Just leave out the numbers part, because that stuff doesn't matter. The fact is, you got a raise, you got a promotion. But seriously, the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how much you're getting paid or how much your raise was. All that matters is that your friends are happy for you and they want to go out and celebrate. And lastly, work hard in silence and let your success make the noise. There really is no need to go out bragging and talking about all this money you're making, all this great work you're doing, because at the end of the day, it never really works in your favor. Just let your success show what you're actually capable of. Don't ever try to prove yourself. So let me know if you guys have ever been in this situation. I'd love to get your feedback. So let me know right now in the comments if you've ever been treated like this or you ever felt on the spot when it comes to how much money you're making. If you're new to the channel and you like the video, then you might want to stick around for great future content to come. So go ahead, hit that little red rectangle down in the corner, subscribe, and be part of the team. On my channel, I cover everything to do with finance, investing, entrepreneurship, and money. So if you like money, then you're in the right place. If you want to learn how to start a little side hustle, start a little business, or make some passive income, then why not go ahead, subscribe. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing what I do on more of my personal life on the other side of things, then go ahead and follow my other channel. It's called Jimbo50. I'll put a link right above here right now for you. I'll also leave it down in the description below. On that channel, it's more of like a vlog style, having to do with my life, cars, and other fun things. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, and you made it this far, then don't forget to smash the like button one more time for the YouTube algorithm. It really does help out a lot. And like always, thank you everybody for watching. I'm Jim Leadus, and I'll see you on the next one.